Oh, can you believe we're in again? This is a good fish. This is a good fish. Yeah, I think we might have something here. Here we are, the early morning light in Eastbourne Harbour. Boat's getting ready to go out. In amongst the gin palaces here is my friend Mark from Manic Fishing's boat. He's promised me some fish. It's going to be lure rod time, fishing on the reefs. What a lovely morning, eh? Excited little boy here. The water is absolutely crystal clear in the harbour. Now, hopefully it'll be pretty clear as we get out on the reefs too. Often see fish in here, mullet, bass, conger. Mark's even seen a thornback ray by his boat, so we'll go and have a look, see if it's still there. So the guy we're going to go and see is Mark Fairhurst. He's quite a humble chap, but he has caught a 17-pound bass, or 17-pound bass on a lure rod. Got a problem. There are some charter boats as well that run out of Eastbourne. As well as some commercial netters and potters too. Hurry up, I want to go fishing. Boats here. Often think, I wonder how much use some of these get though. Well, it's a lovely day today, not too many people on them. This is like the fishing boat section. Now we're coming up to Mark's boat, and he was telling me the other day there was a thornback ray swimming around the pontoon somewhere. This is his photo. That's his boat. He looks like he's fitting up the GoPro, putting stuff on the roof there. And there's the very rod that he landed that 17-pound 1 ounce bass on. And that is Pip, and she comes with the boat. Yeah,
it doesn't look too bad with the foot, doesn't it?
Permission to come aboard,
yes.
Sir?
Yes.
Top notch, not packing.
And that's the 2015 150 Mariner, but it's only done 207 hours. So it's done very little work.
Mark's going to run through some of this with us, but he's a real top man when it comes to some of this low rance stuff. It's even got active target. I don't know if any of you know about active target. You're basically scanning through the water for fish. Sometimes in the summer, it's bubbling with mackerel here, they get stuck between the two locks. Mark's going to just talk us through some of these lures that he's got here. I can already recognise some of these for sure. The background noise you can hear is the creaking of the gates here. Anyway, Mark, what we got here, mate?
A Savage Gear slow jig. This is one of the new ones. I think these are the minnow ones, but that looks pretty mackerel-y to me. And that's 100 grams. These are all the same make, just different patterns on there. It's quite a nice pink one there, which they're all 100 grams slow jig.
We'll have a look on the finder in a minute, but we're looking at fishing these over about 60 foot.
60 foot reef.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a Sidewinder, another one that's 160 grams, which is quite nice. And this is another Sidewinder. I think this is 150 grams. And they have these assist hooks on them, and we fish them sort of upside down, so the fish will take hopefully either one of those hooks. These are the Savage Gear sand eel lures that I use. These are probably the ones that we use today. These are 65 grams, and they've got a lovely soft action, and you fish them direct with a fast click that I've got. Pollock sometimes like these, and the bass, these yellow and lemon ones. And there's like almost like a mackerel one here, which are quite effective, and the action they've got is fantastic. We can have a look at them in the water in a bit.
And if you haven't fished these before, they've got like a silicone body, and then the face bit is obviously the lead. You clip that on, some super sharp 4 or 5 hooks on there by the looks of it. That's it really, simple sort of fishing. Make no secret of it, I'm like an excited little child. Haven't been out in a boat for a while. Lovely.
Just come out the harbour and we're in safe water. I've got my position where I'm going to go to the Horse of Winnenden, and at this current speed we're going to be there in 19 minutes. Zooming out now so we can see where we're going. It's a lovely clear day, isn't it?
Because the seagulls are all out the back, he's obviously chucking something over there, so he may have had his drifts. But we're over a reef now.
We've got a drift line here, so this is my mark here, and by the way that the heading compass is going, we should be drifting through here, so we're on an ebb tide, so we will move from right to left across here.
What I'm looking at here is, as a real land lover, so it's actually picking out the fish that are off right on the bottom of the reef there.
That's and then vertical jigging them, so they're coming up about 6 foot off the bottom, and that tends to get them. But we've got a nice drift line here now.
It's all about the drift, which is why he's getting on his lures quite quick, because he knows we've started to drift right into the middle of this reef by the looks of it. So I'm going to hit the bottom with these lures, bounce them up a little bit. What I'm going to do now is just watch what Mark does and copy him exactly, because he's fished this reef before.
And this is a puffin. This is a Sidewinder, and it's a puffin, and obviously it looks like a puffin. This is 100 grams, probably a little bit too heavy for this reef, but it'll still work well like that. And a lot of people sometimes fish these lures with the swivel, but that's a definite no-no, because the swivel will make it aeroplane round. With this it's direct, and it'll only move when you've got a swivel on. It takes the action away from the lure. And this is how this moves, so it's replicating a fish.
So the water clarity is not brilliant, but fish will pick that out even at 60 foot. And as you all know, you let the skipper have the first drop. You also give him the first cup of coffee. I'm being very polite. Obviously what I want to do now is get my rod down as well.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Here is just to vary that sort of jig, so sometimes you want to hit the bottom, lift up until you find the fish, and then once you find the fish, just got to keep replicating it.
It's showing quite a few fish at 24 foot down. So we've just finished our drift line and we've come to the end of the reef. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back round, but I'm not going to drive right across the reef. I'm going to go completely round it so I don't scare any of the fish that are there. Go back round. I've already got my drift line here, so I know where I'm going to be drifting. I'm going to try it over, perhaps try it over a little bit higher up, so I know where my line is now. I've got a perfect drift line, so I'll go right the way round the reef, and then I'll stop my boat here, and I know I'm going to drift through that area. Food every night.
Yeah.
I'll get a lamb and chicken.
Definitely fish, I think. Yeah, there's something there. Yeah, it looked like a small shoal or something. See how he's working that rod. This is where a lighter rod really comes into its own as well. You could be jigging like this all day. Something like this Tenru, is it? The Bulldog puppy. Yeah.
Yeah, 20 to 45 gram casting lure, casting rod.
Mark, you've had a 17 pound 1 ounce bass on that very rod.
Yeah, on this particular rod, quite a long way out, and I used 150 Savage gear lure, which is a bit heavier for this particular rod, but yeah, huge bass, and as I said, it went like a steam train, and yeah, great fun.
And then obviously you chopped it up and ate it, Mark, is that right?
Oh no, it's all catch and release. I put everything back I catch. It does annoy people sometimes, but yeah, I don't keep any fish.
Regular viewers will recognise the zonk here. I've just found the tide pushing just that little bit too much. Can't really get it down at any depth. All weedless lures here. Pollock, yes. Yeah, he is. Beautiful. Oh. Beautiful, look at that. That's a nice pollock. Thank you, Mark. Good work with the net, straight on that net. Well, we'll be putting this one back. Just look at the colours on that. Gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Nicely hooked as well. Hasn't come up too deep, so we'll get him back. Well, we're in. This is a bit smaller, feels like a pollock. Let's bring him up. Oh, it is a pollock. No, not for this one, mate. It's fine. Yeah, I'll sort this one up. Great, another pollock. So, having not caught a pollock for probably about 4 years, I've never had a Sussex pollock either. That one was about 2, what would you say, Mark?
Yeah, about 2 pounds, yeah.
About 2. Still fought beautifully as well. But compliments to the skipper, he's just put us right over that reef, just where the fish are. Okay, let's get back on it. Oh, can you believe we're in again? This is a good fish. This is a good fish. Yeah, I think we've got something here. I've got the drag set. I don't know if you can see how it's working the drag, but bring this one up quite slowly, I think.
You're going to want the net for that?
It's a cod.
Oh, nice.
No, yes it is a cod. Yes! Oh yes. Let's net him, care for the fish a bit. Hey! Oh, brilliant.
That's what we're doing.
Beautiful.
Look how healthy that
Look at that. A cod. What a skipper. Look at that. Yes. Beautiful. Whew. It's only the second cod I've caught. Well, it's only a small codling, but I keep calling it a cod. But I'm absolutely made up to have got this on a lure. I'm just looking back on my records. It's been over 30 years since I last caught a codling on a lure. So yeah, absolutely made up with this little fish. Yay! Well, this is a bit of a pain. Look what's happened here. So what I'm going to have to do, I should have brought a spare rod really. For some reason that has snapped off. I'd love to say it was because it was a double figure fish, but it isn't. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it down to there for the rest of the session. A little teaser, a saltwater fly. I'm going to put that on above the lure. This is usually something we do from the shore, but I think I'll give it a go. Yeah, we've still got our Savage gear on there, but I've tied on a teaser as well. Don't know if it'll work. Let's give it a go. So what I'm doing now is trying to jig it with almost a quarter of the rod missing, it feels like.
Persevered. Oh, that's a nice stonking pollock. Look at the size of that. That's a nice one, isn't it?
You to me, yeah. Oh. Oh, another good one. Another.
You're in, aren't you?
Ah, fell hooked.
Lemon one. The pollocks seem to love this colour, so it's a slightly lighter lead head.
The smallest one of the day. Well, it's a small one. They're fighting a bit more now. It's ever so hard to tell on this rod without a tip. It's so small. They're pouting. So I can't complain. It is a fish. It's a nice pout. Got a glimpse of it today, but seeing those two pollock come up through the water up from that reef on the light lure rod. Oh, can you believe we're in again? This is a good fish. Oh, brilliant. be pleased with that. What a great day. Mark's going to take us in. If you want to catch mannok fishing, there's a link for him here.